أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. I'm lowering my voice because they're making salat, so I don't want to disrespect them, you know. They have more priority than I do. But I want to say to you, Sheikh Ammar, he's been trying to set this up between our two communities for the last 6 months, and I've been the one that's been responsible for breaking. So I had to come here tonight, you know, because it's been so long, and we're trying to establish the bond of true brotherhood in the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I just want you to know what's going on, because at Masjid Belford they got a program tonight too. Same that. So I don't want to get a beat down, you know. So I'm gonna have to do something special for them, inshallah, do Jummah or something to make up for this. But again, it was Sheikh Ammar. He's really been working hard to try to bring the unity between the communities. So for that reason, I made this special trip for him. So that they're still making salat. Can we pause just for a minute while they finish? Can you turn your cameras off? Because I don't. To me, it's disrespectful. not to be one used for racism. Oh my goodness, I'm about to float in here. So he had a so-called white wife and a black wife, showing that no prophet ever is to be used to support racism. I'm speaking to religious people now. And I'm speaking to so-called rational people with PhD degrees. They know, they know what I'm doing. So Prophet Ibrahim, he killed racism way back then. What's the other thing he killed? What's the other thing he did? You remember in the Quran where it says, let not wealth circulate in the hands of a few people? Do you remember that in the Quran? Well, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that he is one who follows in the millah of Ibrahim. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Okay, if this is the truth, and in the Quran it says, let not the wealth concentrate in the hands of few people, then we should be able to trace the prophets back and see the same thing. And you can. Muhammad, he pointed us to Prophet Ibrahim, and Ibrahim was one who had what you had to call a Caucasian wife, or like I'm saying, Sarah. And what did she represent? She represented the rich people. And then he married Hagar, and what did Hagar represent? The poor black people. So here's a prophet that's making the two extremes come together so that you will not have accepted in the religious community a hierarchy where the wealth is in one segment of society and poverty is in the other. Prophet Ibrahim, he married the two wives so as to cure racism and to give social equality and to establish economic equality. Am I helping? You know, you had to say yeah or no like this here. Then you could say, could you please explain that a little more? Okay. Now, Prophet Abraham, when he was a young child, his father was a rich king, so they say, and he had idols, Prophet Abraham's father. And when he got up in his teenage years, we really don't know how old he was. But in the Quran, it holds the story that when he saw the idols, this is Prophet Abraham, when he saw the idols, he took an axe or a hammer and he destroyed all of the idols and left what? One big idol. And when he was asked who did it, Prophet Abraham said, ask the big one. In the Quran, right? So why am I saying this to you? It's because Muhammad the prophet did the same thing. Am I right or wrong? The Kaaba was filled with idols. You see? And Muhammad, in the early years, the youth of the mission of Islam, what did he do? He went in the Kaaba and he destroyed the idols. The same thing that Prophet Ibrahim did also as a young child. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Imam W.D. Muhammad was born in the community of Nation of Islam. And we used to say the black man was God. And we said every black man was God. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to hurt some Muslims' feelings. That's idle. Those are idle thoughts in the mind. And we have to do the same thing. So Imam W.D. Muhammad, when he was a young man, he began to destroy the idols in the thinking in the time when his father was alive. And he was put out of the mosque at least 3 times because he wouldn't accept Mr. Father Muhammad as God. I'm showing you the line of connection throughout history. Okay, so what does this have to do with Black History Month? As I said, Muhammad the prophet, he is a mixture of the two races. So he himself would not stand. He said we say red, but the white is not superior to the black. This is Muhammad the prophet saying this, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said the black is not superior to the white. So he was the only prophet in world history that we have on record that specifically spoke to racism. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have that the name of any other prophet that took that kind of stand. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. So here we were, a people taken from our ancestors. And again, some of our blacks sold us too. But listen, that was done by all people at that time. But nowhere in human history was there a whole people who lost their language, who lost their culture, who lost their tradition. You know, the Jews, they claim that happened to them under Pharaoh, right? You know the story, right? But the Egyptian people and government, they say that is an untruth. That in the history of Egypt, they never had the Jews as slaves to build the pyramid. I'm so happy to hear them people stand up and defend themselves. Okay? Yeah, I don't believe it either. So the only people, you listen to me now, the only people who fulfills that in the Bible and in the Quran are the African American people. And we've been in slavery for 400 years. Okay? And some people say, well, why would Allah allow that to happen? It's because some of us on the motherland were acting as idiots. We were fighting each other in tribes and things of that nature. You know, that just went on just like the Europeans had 500-year war. You know that, right? Do y'all know that? They had a 100-year war, the 300-year war, the 500. These is whites fighting whites. So there's no big thing for the people on the same continent fighting each other. But they didn't take each other's language, did it? They didn't take the German didn't take the Englishman's language. They didn't do that. But we were the only people to suffer such a thing. So the question becomes, why did Allah allow that to happen? Imam Muhammad told us this way. Imam W.D. Muhammad. He said, because when you have a cup and that cup is full, you can't put anything else in it. But when you empty that cup, you can put other things in it, right? So he allowed us to be emptied of all that culture and tradition so that we would be a new people in America. And Allah would fill this empty cup up with the Quran, Al-Islam, and the Sunnah of Muhammad the Prophet. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And right now, you find the African American now, they're growing, gradually searching. They realize there's a void in them. You see, even if they're in the church, they got all of this going on in the church. But if you leave them alone quiet, you'll find them doing searching. What are they searching for? They're searching for the void that cannot be fulfilled in Christianity. You can't fulfill it. You have to fulfill it. In Islam, you have to tell a child who is kidnapped eventually who his parents truly are. You see? So I know Christians are going to watch this, and I encourage you to watch it. And you can write me on the email. You know, you can set me up at colleges and universities. I will go there and I will sit down with your professors who differ with me. But I want no emotions. I want truth. And that's the problem with the African American people. We are moved too much by emotions and not enough by rational facts. You see? Yeah, this is the big problem with us. That's why they call us Afro-Americans. You know, we didn't call ourselves African-Americans. We have our own name. We don't want a white man naming us. We don't want reefers naming us. And if you accept the term African-American, you are accepting Afro. And Afro comes from the original source, which they're not going to tell black people. It had to come from the Muslims. It's Aphrodite, which means that are people who are driven by sex and emotions and not intellect. That's what Aphrodite means. That's what Afro-American means. Afro-American means that he can't be a full American because his sex is blocking him. His emotions is blocking him. So this is Imam W.D. Muhammad's insight. As he reads the Quran, as he follows the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, he goes into those texts and he brings that out in the language so that we can use the Quran and use the Hadith. You see what I said? To free us in this time. For example, you can ride a camel today. You can ride a horse today. But I think you prefer a car, don't you? It's still transportation. Excuse me for laughing. But when I first heard this, I thought it was the funniest thing because I was a kindergarten Muslim. And I was a fantasy Muslim. Christian, I mean. And what I mean by that, I believe that in Santa Claus, when I was a little kid, and I believe that a fat man came down the chimney, of which I didn't have. You see what I mean? And brought me some gifts. And that's the most terrible thing you can do to a child. You're teaching the child when it's not able to reason, you're giving the child a lie. Easter is a lie. Christmas is a lie. And what you're doing, you're damaging his rational faculty. So when he becomes an adult, he doesn't have the rational muscles to deal with the pressures of life. So this is why Imam W.D. Muhammad gave us these concepts, as he brought it from the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad, so that when people hear us talk on these concepts, they can't argue with it. They have to accept it. And why would an adult who knows that there's no such thing as rabbits laying colored eggs, why would that adult give that to his child? You understand? You're teaching the child to lie, number one, and you're teaching the child to accept falsehood and things that are illogical. Okay, so now the community of Imam W.D. Muhammad began in 1930s. And the one who began it, his name was, we call him Master Fard Muhammad. And Imam W.D. Muhammad called him WD-40, like oil. You know, used to be an oil called WD-40 because we were some rusty locks. So we needed to be oiled up, you know. And I'm saying this because we have many Pan-African movements. We have many black Christians. They're trying to do wonderful things for the freedom of the African American. So we are just one effort to improve the life and history of African Americans. So it began with him. He taught Elijah Muhammad for 3 years. And after 3 years, Elijah Muhammad was on his own. And it started in Detroit. And Imam W.D. Muhammad, he was born in Hamtramck, Michigan in 1933, October 30th, 1933. And the family, after it was established in Detroit, the first temple began in Detroit called Temple Number 1. That's how we used to name them. And he moved from Detroit to Chicago, which was Temple Number 2. And then they established Temple Number 3, which was in Milwaukee, Temple Number 4, which is in Washington, D.C., and on and on and on and on. But now what I would like to do is to show, I'm speaking to Muslims of Orthodox in the Sunnah of Muhammad the Prophet, and try to show the value of the works of Imam W.D. Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad even. So I'm going to show from the Quran some things so it can be seen. So on this slide that I have here, this is from chapter 15, verse 26. And you can read it, but I'm trying to tell you when we were taught in the Nation of Islam, I see my good brother Eugene Farouk. He was in there for years. We old guys. we as they say, back in the day. And back in the day, we didn't say Muhammad. You know what we said back in the day in the Nation of Islam? Muhammad. We didn't say Muhammad, we said Muhammad. You see M-U-D, like as you see up there, right? And I have the verse here. خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سَلْسَالٍ مِنْ حَمَاءٍ. Who said that? Somebody finished it. Was it a sister? You helping me? No, it's good. You're helping me, right? No, I'm just saying. You said Muslim? Did you say it? Allahu Akbar. Okay, you read Arabic? Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what Muhammad the Prophet said. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that paradise lies at the foot of mother, right? This is Muhammad saying this. So you don't mind I go to the blackboard, do you? Do you mind? Okay. Please do. Okay. Now some of y'all know what I'm going to draw, but I'm going to do it anyway because we have guests and we have to share our knowledge with our guests. Imam Muhammad, he told us to try to help us to come from the Nation of Islam into the Sunnah. He's used a special language for us, because we didn't know nothing about Islam. So he used a special language. He told us that Allah was a divine mind. That's what he told us. Allah was a mind. That's what he told us. Then later on, Imam Muhammad, he said, man means mind. Now you have to remember, he used this approach because me and Eugene, we was told that we was God. That we black men were God. Am I telling the truth, Eugene? Some of you sisters may remember that. Your wife not here because she was bearing witness too, saying that, yeah, she didn't believe it. My wife didn't believe it either. If you God, how come you don't have a job? Allahu Akbar. Oh, man, I'll tell you, this is really beautiful, isn't it? So he was bringing us out of this black God. You see what I'm saying? And most of us, when we heard him say, see, he was building a bridge. You know what I mean by a bridge? A bridge is something that goes over something that's not continuous, right? If you have two pieces of land and they're not connected, you have to build what? A bridge. So the purity of the religion of Islam and what we had in the nation of Islam, there was no connection. So Imam Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was guided following Muhammad the prophet to build this bridge. So anyway, he told us that man means mind. And then he's told us about our sisters. He said that, he said, yeah, that's right. Some of you know what I'm going to put up here. He said woman, Imam Muhammad. He said this word here is not one word. It's two words. And he was saying, how Muhammad the prophet, he was saying that paradise lies at the foot of mother, or paradise lies at the foot of the woman. Paradise, see? And we got away from that. We lost this concept. So what does it mean? It means when a woman is pregnant and she delivers her child, no doctors around, no nurses around, what does she have to do? She got to squat down. Am I right or wrong? She squats down and she delivers that baby, and that baby is where? At her feet. So now, when she's pregnant, you know, she looks like this, right? This is going on the internet. And inside here, that baby is in this position. You can go on the internet right now and type in embryology and you will see this. Okay? So every woman, listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about a Christian woman, a Jewish woman, an atheist woman, a black woman, a brown woman, whatever she is. When she has a baby, that baby has to come in the world in the position of the Muslim prayer. Takbir. Good God Almighty. Woo, this man Muhammad is something else. But most people can't see it. They don't, they fail to bring his excellence out. And he said, you who are present, record what I'm saying, and perhaps the people who are not present, you give it to them, they will understand better than you who are here now. So what was he saying? He was saying that a time is going to come in the future when science will verify that his miracles are real because the science will prove it. Allahu Akbar. Good God Almighty. And look here, that baby cannot be born unless that baby does ghusl and wudu. Meaning that when the baby's born, the water bag must break. Sisters, are you listening to me? Don't you let no man insult you, because he couldn't be born by a man. He could only be born by a woman. And you sent him into the world as a clean entity. Are you listening to me? I got 5 daughters. That's why I talk to them like that. And I fuss at my daughters. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't let no man insult you and talk down to you when he had to be carried by you. Good God Almighty. What's the matter with you? So if you see a woman who's a whore or a prostitute who has no respect for herself, it's because some man in her most vulnerable time in her life hurt her and she couldn't handle it. And she could never get past that pain. This is the beauty of Islam. This is the contribution of W.D. Muhammad. This kind of language, you see, it's powerful language. And where is it from? The Quran, the Sunnah of Muhammad. And you have to bring it this way in order to help people and liberate people. So anyway, so we go back to here, right? And this little creature here, he's in sajda. Okay, when he comes into the world, And look, dear brothers and sisters. The baby, when he comes in the world, I do this a lot. I demonstrate. Please don't be embarrassed. The baby doesn't come in the world like this here, looking at the doctor. The baby comes in the world looking for the prayer rug. Takbir. I'm telling you the truth. Please go on the internet, go online and check me out. That baby is a Muslim. And he wants to thank Allah. Oh, thank you for the brain, the heart, the kidney. Alhamdulillah. So let's go back up here. We say, to show you the language of the Islam is so universal. What does the woman tell the child first and most of all? What does she say over and over to that baby? No, don't put your hand in the socket. No, don't cut yourself with it. She's talking about a little bitty baby, right? No, don't run across the street. She's saying what? No. What is no in Islam? La. Isn't it? La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. You can't get away from this religion. So you see this W-O here? What it really is W-O-E. And most people take the wrong definitions and say woe means, oh, it's trouble, I'm going to get beat up sometimes. Yeah, that's a woe there. But the woe is like when you on a horse and the horse runs away with you. What you going to tell that horse? Whoa. meaning what? Stop, right? You get it now? So the woman is the one who tells the man, whoa, don't hurt yourself. Allahu Akbar. And we had to reflect, brothers, on when we were small children. Yeah, daddy did it. Daddy's woe was this. Did it right here. Boy, whoa. But mama was the voice of compassion, right? She didn't hit you as much as daddy did. So this is here what this means. Whoa, and slow down. But really, this is really, she is the womb, W-O-M-B, of man. Okay? Now this is Imam Muhammad. He's fascinating us with this wisdom. We were in the Nation of Islam thinking it was a mother plane up there. Matter of fact, that's where Star Trek came from. Star Trek came from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He taught them too. They just didn't pay him. They got all that from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, Allahu Akbar. This is the truth. You know, he was something. And I was there live with him. My home is Chicago. I'm right there, right? And that man loved us the best he knew how. And what he would do, he would teach us from the Bible because we knew the Bible the most. But you never saw him when he would come into a public arena. He carried the Bible just like this. Farouk? Huh? What, a Quran, sorry. Thank you. Ooh, good God Almighty. Somebody listening. This is Amina's son. Allahu Akbar. You did a good job. You would see him, I think I may have some pictures here, and he always have the Quran in this position. He would tell us, have the Quran in the highest shelf in the house, right? And he told us, don't worry about reading it in the Nation of Islam. He said that his teacher, Fard Muhammad, told him that your children would teach the Arabic, and your children would teach Quran. And it came true. Imam W.D. Muhammad took us, and one of the nights in transition from the Nation of Islam into the Sunnah, I forget, maybe you may know. If you do, tell me. Any of you who remembers. This was a Monday night or a Tuesday night. It was weekday night. And we had what was called National Hookup all across the United States. And we took Shahada by the thousands in one time. No man ever did that in human history. You hear what I'm telling you? I don't know how many thousands of us took that Shahada by Imam W.D. Muhammad. Yeah. This actually happened. I was there in Chicago and I didn't realize what was going on. I was a dummy back then. I was still in the days, half in the nation and half with Imam. So I'm going to give you some concepts, inshallah, from Elijah Muhammad and Imam W.D. Muhammad. In the book called The Message to the Black Man, it's still in there right now, Elijah Muhammad said, whoever has a man as God is a fool. I'm quoting. Now, this was in the Nation of Islam. That book was book printed 1970 or 60, forgot when it was. And it's in there right now. I think it's page 98 if you don't believe me. I'm talking to some people who criticize us for leaving, you know. Now, look, this is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He told us, study the lessons and dig deep. Am I right? Some of you remember that. Because what you're reading on the surface wasn't what was really meant. So here's a man, we believed in him. We believed that Mr. Fard Muhammad was God. We used to say he was Allah in person. That's what we used to say. And I used to say, I'm a God, a black God. I said that too. But Elijah Muhammad wrote in the book, he said, whoever has man as God is a fool. So Elijah Muhammad was trying to get us to read between the lines. The only thing we saw was the man Jesus as God. You understand what I'm saying? And we would criticize the Christians. Say, look, you got a man as God. You got a white man as God. You got a man as God. And then realize we had the same thing. Now, why did this happen this way? It was liberating. It was liberating. We were given Jesus Christ as God. Now, I need to say this, and I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. The black people on the plantation could not read or write. And the biggest thing that was driving us was to read. And we didn't understand why that was in us. We didn't know that. It was our genetic, it was our genes making us want to read. The biggest thing that the black people on the slave plantation wanted to do was to be able to read. Why did they have this so strong in them? Because that was the Muslim gene that was coming out that said, what? Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqa. That proves that we were Muslims, because the first revelation given to Muhammad the prophet was what? Read in the name of your Lord. Do you understand that? Do you know most people can't make these connections? You know, and when you hear it, you say, wow, I can see that. If this black man is a slave and he's in the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, whatever century he is, and the biggest thing he wanted to do after he was free was get a textbook, he was following Muhammad the prophet, the revelation, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Am I helping you, sisters? Am I helping you? Yeah, you know. And I look to the sisters because the big problem I see in Muslim communities is that they disrespect the woman now. They're going backwards to what Prophet Muhammad had done. Okay? And they take a verse out of the Quran. I know I'm going to be in trouble now. And it says, beat them lightly. That's in chapter 4 of the Quran. And the word that is used is daraba. But do you know also in the Quran, it says Allah set forth a parable. And it uses the word what? Daraba. So the Quran defines the Quran. So if daraba in one ayat means to set forth a parable, then it got to mean the same thing in another ayat. And I tell people, I said, no, I'm saying this, brothers, because down in Miami I had brothers, you know, beating their wives physically. They were physically beating their wives. And, you know, I'm a surgeon, you know, so I see this. Woman coming to emergency room, eye broken, jaw broken, arm broken. Well, who is this? Sister Mary Amina. You understand? Well, who did this? My husband. And he gets this from the so-called leaders that say, well, this is the Quran. And so they attacked me. I'm talking about Muslims, attacked me. So you know, I told them, I said, you get the biggest sheikh you can find, the ulama, the mufti, and show me in the Quran and in the Sunnah of Muhammad, hadith, where Prophet Muhammad laid his hand on any woman. They can't do it. I've been waiting for the challenge yet. I told him I'd give him $1 million. Don't you know that if somebody offered me $1 million, I had it, I'd bring that challenge. Ooh, shoot, man. I'd be rich, flying to Jamaica and everywhere with that $1 million. So, we have these things from our tradition. And let me say this again. Imam Muhammad, we had what we call the first resurrection, which means the times of the Nation of Islam, which I spoke about. And we call this for African Americans the second resurrection. And do you know the term for teeth? You see right here, teeth? You know how to say teeth in Arabic? Who speaks Arabic? You speak Arabic. How you say teeth? Say how you say one tooth? Sin. That's right. Allahu Akbar. Look at these women. Wow, Prophet Muhammad talked about y'all. He said if you educate a woman, you'll educate a whole nation. Am I right? Yeah. Muhammad said this. Allahu Akbar. How come they don't bring these hadiths that I'm bringing? You understand? They're always bringing hadiths to beat this woman down. No, I don't do that. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? I need an intelligent wife. I don't need a dummy in the bed. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Fella, forgive me. My wife is a doctor. You hear me? One of my daughters is a doctor. Following what? Muhammad the Prophet. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. So at any rate, what Imam Muhammad did following his father, the first adhan that was heard across the entire United States by any community was Imam W.D. Muhammad's community. You heard the adhan from one of the nation to the other. I'm calling out certain brothers because they remember they were alive at that time. He had the first Jummah ever done in the United States nationally. It was never done before. The Islamic conventions, first done by Imam W.D. Muhammad. And see, this truth needs to be brought out. All these things need to be brought out. The first voter education, voter registration, Imam W.D. Muhammad. In 1976 or 77, he took the American flag in the mosque. We have pictures of it right now. And he raised up the American flag. When he did that, it was called bid'ah, and death threats was put out because no Muslim should carry the flag of the Kafir nation. That's what it was called back in that time. When 9/11 hit, you couldn't find American flags. All of a sudden, everybody was supporting the flag of the United States after Imam W.D. Muhammad. Now, I'm saying these things because we have to be able to recognize when God, for us, Allah, does miraculous things. And so who was the leader that taught Imam Muhammad? You can't find him. Nobody can claim that they're the leader. So why did you have Fard Muhammad, this white-looking guy, as God in the Nation of Islam? Because if you had a man with see my skin tone, and you'd have said that black man looking like me was Allah, you wouldn't have not one man in the mosque. So they had to deal with the psychological problem. And the psychological problem was to accept a white man or a light-skinned man. And then they would accept Islam. I'm talking about in the Nation of Islam back then. You had been somebody black like me, shoe polish, you wouldn't have one Muslim. Because they were still suffering, although you're talking about freedom, you're still suffering from what? Racism in the recesses of the subconscious mind. Allahu Akbar. So now what were we done? When we used to eat one meal a day in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam was preparing us for the belief in what? One God. That's why we ate one meal a day. Most of us didn't know that. The 3 meals a day, that was given to the West by the Jews. The Jewish people gave the West 3 meals a day so that it would be easy for them to accept 3 gods. Allahu Akbar. I'm not joking. The Europeans didn't always believe in a Trinity. They had pagan gods. But when they were given 3 meals a day, then it was easy to get them to see 3 gods. And this is the problem with many of the black Christians. They can't see it. So now, I want to give you, some of you are taking notes, so I want to give you some. If you go to the Quran, in chapter 21, verse 29, take these notes. And you go to chapter 39, verse 60. Now, I might have them wrong. That's why I'm telling you. So you help me to correct my notes. Yeah, chapter 21, verse 29. And then the next one is chapter 39, verse 60. It may be off, but I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. Okay? The reason being, again, I'm reminding you, and this is for you when you meet with people who believe the Nation of Islam. Why did you leave it? I'm giving you reasons why we left it. I asked him the name of tooth, Zubir, and the name of teeth. I asked you that. You want to know why? Because you have two sets of teeth. You have baby teeth and you have adult teeth. The baby teeth fall out. So the first movement of the Nation of Islam was baby misunderstanding. So just like baby teeth, you had to lose them. We had to let the baby understanding that we had in the Nation of Islam go. You understand now? Yeah. This is a very serious and deep session. What time is it? Because I don't want to go over my time. You know.
9:02.
What time? 9:02. What time did we get started? Nobody wants to tell me. You know this happens to me everywhere I go. I say, I'm only going to speak for 5 minutes. I say, what time is it? It's 8,000 o'clock, but nobody says anything. Okay, I'm giving you these verses because these verses say, whoever says he is God will go to hell. That's in the Quran. See? So that's why we were not allowed to read the Quran. Because the Quran would updo those teachings. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. And in the Quran, it says, and if there were many gods, behold, one God would have taken away something from the other God. Alhamdulillah. Now, let's see. Now, you know, when we were in the Nation of Islam, we used to drill. We used to say, 10 up, and we'd stand like this here. Sisters too. Y'all was called the MGT, and what was the name? And GCC. MGT, Muslim Girls Training. So the Honorable Imam W.D. Muhammad had to come. Because if he didn't come, you would still be girls. Takbir. So he came and he said what? Woman is what? Womb of mine. No more girls in the movement of Elijah Muhammad. Now you eventually go from a girl to what? To a full woman. Takbir. Yeah. Laqad haramna bani Adam. I have that right, brother? Now, you'll speak Arabic, that's his mother tongue, so you help me. Sometimes I go fast and I get it, you know. I know what I'm talking about, but it's not my mother tongue. Laqad haramna bani Adam. So, this is the Quran. And this is Imam Muhammad giving us this wisdom. In Arabic, you have 3 vowels. You know, you'll have, say like I say, ka, ta, and then ma. See like this. Then that would be karama. Huh? Okay. What did I do with my eraser? I had an eraser. I guess I had to use my finger. Now if I tissue. Okay, you got tissue. Look, I'm just showing you something. If I do this here, I say karima. Am I right? But the root of this word is not karama, not fata, not kathra. What's the root? The root is damma. Damma. Why? Why Allah choose this word? You know, laqad haramna. Yeah, laqad haramna. But haramna is root, is karuma. Why? Because if you put a fatha here, it means the action is completed. If you put a kasra here, it means it's temporary. It will not last. But if you put dhamma on the middle of the third radical, it means it's permanent. Allahu Akbar. So Imam Muhammad was saying, although we were made slaves, the original nature is permanent, and it was just unconscious in the mind. And it was just a matter of time before Allah would send someone to bring that back to the conscious mind. Allahu Akbar. So that's why this word here is used in the Quran, not in this form. Karamna is not here. But I'm saying the root of karamna is karuma, meaning that no man that you say he's inferior, he's 3/4, she's a woman, she's inferior. No. It says, and all of the children of Adam are of nobility. Allahu Akbar. It's only that the person doesn't know their own dignity. And they have to be what? They have to be told. Say, for example, the little baby who's the son of Bill Gates. You know Bill Gates, what is he, a billionaire now? When his, yeah, he need to share with me, right? I'm helping y'all, Bill. I'm helping your people. When his child or his grandchild is born, does that child know its wealth, its inheritance? No. It has to be taught its inheritance. But his inheritance is still there, whether he knows it or not. Am I right or wrong? So the same thing with every human being. Same thing with every woman. Same thing with every man, regardless to ethnicity. That inherent dignity is there. Now let me tell you about dignity. What time is it? I'm going to stop. We're going to have to do part 2, Zubair. Huh? I'm going to stop. You'll tell Sheikh Zubair he shouldn't do me like this. He give me a subject that everybody's excited about and I don't have enough time. Are you enjoying this presentation of Islam? How Muhammad, can you see how Muhammad the Prophet is helping the world? It takes somebody with the ability to bring it out. So wow, I didn't know that this is this man's approach. And most of these people around the world who have stable governments, when they get in trouble, they go to the Quran, they go to the Hadith, they look it up, then they come back as though it's theirs. They're thieves, liars, and robbers. I'll prove it to you right now. In the masjid, you have who? The Prophet. Am I right? You have the book. Am I right? And the Prophet, the book is something else. I'm going so fast, y'all got me so excited, I'm missing my point. So what they do, they steal from religion. So instead of them having a prophet, they have a professor. Do you see the analogy now? Instead of them having the Quran, they have a such and such and such textbook. So all they did was look at religion and saw the works of the prophets and what worked. And they cast themselves in the image. Allahu Akbar. I don't know if you realize what you're getting. This is very powerful insight. This is no joke. This is not superficial. And I know you haven't heard it anywhere before. You know? And if you did, if somebody stole it from us and don't want to give us credit like they always do. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And he's a beautiful representative. He's a businessman from the ghetto. And I mean, everybody in the city respects that man. They respect him. You walk in there, you think, what's that boy named? E.F. Hutton is walking in the room. And he talks and people give him respect. He tries to pull our people up. He gives them jobs. You know, I know he didn't think I knew all of this. But Allah will make us know each other who are doing good works. You know, he makes it known. And you know, if I know it, then you know Allah know it. I just can't give you the reward. But you got a big reward coming, you know. But in the Nation of Islam, we used to do it like this here. Original salute, that's what we called it. You remember that, Farouk? Remember? We go 10 up like this here. And then we say, now I'm gonna do opposite because you opposite from me. Right face, we turn like this. Left face, we turn like this. Right? About face, we turn like this. Face forward, we turn like this. How many directions is that? 4. And when the command was given, you obeyed. Right face, boom, you didn't question. Why was that done like that? We were being prepared to accept the 4 takbirs. Y'all ain't saying that. I don't know if I'm helping you or hurting you. Can you see? Look, they couldn't tell us these things because we were what? Babies. So they had to give it to us in a fairy tale like thing. And when the time comes, now you can remove the fairy tale and tell them what it really is. Now, why you salute like this? Look at this here. You see? You're saluting like this. You know why? The body is saying, now you are an intelligent, thinking mind. And the body salutes your intellect. Takbir. Most people don't understand. You think you're saluting the colonel or the lieutenant. No, your flesh body is intelligent. They call this thing, what do they call it? They call it a biological, right? They call this thing biological. So what is biological? I'm gonna stop. Some of y'all going to sleep, so that means I ain't no good or something. I don't know what's happening. Bio means what? Life. Doesn't this body have life? But what kind of life does it have? Logical. Oh, good God Almighty. The scientists in science, in chemistry, in algebra, and geometry, they all say the flesh is logical. That proves Islam is right. The flesh is not what? Sinful. I said science says, what did I do? Science says the flesh is not sinful. I'm talking about empirical science of the West. Has to bear witness to what Muhammad the Prophet said. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Laqad khalaqna al-insana fi ahsani taqweem. And we created man in the excellent mode. Fi means inside. The excellence is not the beard. It's not the Gina cap. You understand? Oh, Nasser, you're not wearing a towel. You don't wear so-and-so. You don't have a beard. That's superficial. And most people say, oh, you attacking Prophet Muhammad. You're supposed to follow Sunnah. Listen, do you know Abu Jahl? Who is Abu Jahl? Enemy of who? And what was the next one? Yeah. What was the other one? Abu who? Lahab. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. Didn't they have a beard? Didn't they have a foul? Were they believers? Nah. So don't judge me because I don't have on a towel. Because if you're going to put me in that class, you put me in the class of hypocrites. They had beard and towel, so we don't go for what's superficial. Innamal a'malu binniyat. All actions are judged by intention. Who said that? Muhammad the Prophet. And it's so powerful to when you go in the courtroom, they use the same thing, don't they? The judge says, and why did he do so and so? What is that Christian or atheist judge doing? He's following Muhammad the Prophet. Takbir! I got to stop. Y'all don't do me like this no more. Get me all excited, be with your beautiful faces and your intelligent mind, and I got 10 minutes. Allahu Akbar. So I'm going to close this down. And inshallah, I want to finish this maybe at another visitation. Maybe I won't be invited back. Maybe it's too much. It says, Allahu nurus samawati wal ard. That's Al-Quran Kareem. Allahu nurus samawati wal ard. Who is the light? Allah. Why is that put in your Quran? Because they said Jesus was the light of the world as long as he was in the world. Am I right or wrong? But they gave you what it said. That he said he's the light of the world as long as he's in the world. So Jesus is not in the world now. So what is the world in? Darkness. That's why in your Quran it says, and Allah sent him down with what? And nur. Sent Muhammad the Prophet down with nur, with light. Because when Jesus went up there, he took the light with him. Are you following me? I'm talking to the wall. So if Jesus, he went to heaven, he took the light with him. That's why in the Quran, the light had to come back down. That's in the Quran, chapter 7, verse 157, 58. I'm saying this for people who are watching it. Because they say, oh, I want to make sure he knows what he's talking about. Whatever. We need to get out of that garbage. Heck, if I make a mistake, it's all about intention. Okay? Don't judge me because I don't speak 100% Arabic. You know what I mean? I'm learning and studying Arabic. That's my original language. Don't blame me. Blame the kidnappers. Takbir. Okay, so I got to go. And you see I'm having problems, you know what I mean? One of y'all need to come up here and snatch me down. So come on, we're going to help you now, sir.
You have a new movement here. Another masjid opened up with our dear brother Jihad Muhammad. And they tell me that they are working in the community, the neighborhood. They're feeding the people. They're educating the people. And they say sometimes they have 7 converts a month or a week or something like that. You know. Now, I'm the one giving him advice, and I don't have that kind of... I need to come and see how you're applying my knowledge. I'm just teasing. That wasn't me. Allahu Akbar. It's okay, honorable people. So as we conclude, when it says, and the light, he was sent down with the light. Let me see. Let me see. Look, let me show you this here. See, this is my phone. Look, I want you to look what I'm doing, because some people don't understand these concepts. Now look. Here's the phone. You see what I'm saying to you? The physical case. You with me now? Do you see light in the physical case? No. You have to take the case, right? And you have to set it up. Excuse me. And if this room is in total darkness, that's what you need. Am I right or wrong? Yes. It's the light that you're following, not the case. Gotcha. So what it means is that if you follow Jesus Christ, don't follow his body of blue eyes and blonde hair. Follow his knowledge. Yes. Is that clear now? That's why Allah, he had no picture of Moses. Anybody got an exact picture of Moses? No exact picture of Jesus. No even exact picture of Muhammad the Prophet. You are not allowed to do that. Why? Because those pictures is what established racism. Did you understand me, Zubair? So this is how you remove racism. You remove any prophet who has an image of it. So if you got a black prophet, get rid of it. Because, boy, look here, if you put Muhammad in my image, y'all in trouble. Because most of y'all lighter than me. And you'll be suffering from inferiority complex. Yes, I'm lighter than Nasser. You know what I'm saying? So the prophet stopped that foolishness. Allah guided him. Do you see these things? And he said, do not make my shrine, my grave a shrine. And most people just thought it was, if you go to Medina, you see the big gate there. His grave is behind a gate. Big, pretty gate. And you'll see people that going to the gate. They following on the gate. I'm with the guards. They beat you off the gate. You know what I'm saying? It's not the gate that you following, is it? It's the knowledge inside that man. Allahu Akbar. And that's why we love Prophet Muhammad so much. Because he didn't cast his greatness in his Arabness. Alam nashrah laka sadra wa wada'na anka wisra. Alam nashrah laka sadra. And we expanded your breast. Most women, they have one child, right? I'm finishing. God is my witness. Most women have, I ain't gonna do that. Most women have one child. Most women, come on now, come on, flashlight, go off. I'm gonna run my battery down. Most women have one child, but they have 2 breasts, don't they? Why? Because a woman is extremely charitable. If she sees a child is really suffering and she's nursing her baby, I'm talking about she ain't on reefers now. She ain't on heroin. That woman will give that other breast to another child that's not hers. Yes, I've seen women do that. Right? Didn't that happen to Prophet Muhammad? Wasn't he nursed by one who was not his mother? Okay, so it's telling us that Muhammad the Prophet, he has 2 breasts. One for his own people and one for the whole world. Anybody can come around him, he'll nurse him. Allahu Akbar. Woo, this is amazing. And when you go to the Kaaba, sisters, if you've never been there, I had to tell the sisters this, and had to tell some brothers that never been there. See this masjid? We built this masjid. So when we have our prayer lines, the men is in front and the women behind. You go to Mecca, it ain't like that. The only place of Muslim worship, not like that. That woman can pray anywhere she wants to. Zubair? So if I'm standing here, my wife want to pray right here, I can't tell her, it's bidda if I do that. She said, raising her hand, no.
Yes, because in Medina also was the same thing.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm agreeing. I know. Yeah. Oh, okay. You corrected me. You corrected. Alhamdulillah. You see the teacher, you want to come up and finish the talk, teach? No, Allah bless you. You're helping me. And any of you can help me.
Yeah, because the reason is that even me, if I give any wrong information,
yeah.
Of course, right now everything is very open, and when they go outside from this room and they say, oh.
Yeah, you're right. We would share wrong information. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah khairan kathir. Well, let me tell you why. See, she's right, but why? How come she can pray any place? See, most people don't know. It's because Allah doesn't judge you as a Jew, as a German, as a Christian, as a Wahhabi. He don't judge you like that. Allah doesn't judge you male or female. Allah judges you ala taqwa, ala iman. Okay? You listen to what I'm telling you. If there, any sister over there is more conscious of Allah than you are in the hereafter, she's going to be ahead of you. Oh, most people don't want to hear, oh, bidda. I'm telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's why they can pray anywhere they want to. It's to let them know, you sisters, maybe we men have mistreated you, but Allah and His holy houses, He has established that you're going to get justice. And yeah, and for we brothers who got ego problems, you know, and Iblis. I'm saying that I was proud and arrogant, and I'm Iblis. I'm just using that as an example. The sisters can pray anywhere to let me know a time is going to come when you're going to be judged on your intention. And if you got the wrong intention, look, instead of you rising, you're going to decline. That's what's going to happen. Allahu Akbar. So this man, Muhammad the Prophet, Rahmatul Alameen, the information I'm giving you with all of this clarity and insights is from Imam W.D. Muhammad. This is his language, his insights, and he will tell you that his leader is Muhammad the Prophet. He'll tell you that in a minute. He passed away, but he'll tell you that. He never wanted to take credit. We would give him credit. Remember, we would give him credit, and he would say, I don't know that man you talking about. He said, Alhamdulillah, all the praise and the credit belongs to Allah. So I thank you, for your warm reception. Zubair made me feel like I'd known him all my life. Yeah, he's telling me from Saudi Arabia, And when you get to know our community, we have one on Belford, right? What's the address on Belford? 6641 Belford. So you can visit there, but know when he needs to know Imam Wazir, needs to be introduced. Yeah. And then what's the other one on off of Hillcroft? Yeah, Masjid Al-Qaeda. That address. Yeah. And then he's the Imam in what, Fifth Ward? Look at the Fifth Ward. Means you're supposed to use your 5 senses. Allahu Akbar. I'm finishing. Since I'm in a room full of scholars and you're bored to death with what I'm saying because it's ABCs to y'all, I thank you for taking your time. And I see a little young lady over there. I knew her before she was born. Yes, I do. It's just, that's my brother Khalil, that's his wife over there. I knew her before her mama was pregnant with her. Alhamdulillah. And that's the way our ties go back. But a lot of us, Amina, we go way, way back. And I can go on and on. His daddy was one of the best paper sellers and most loyal men in the community. This brother right here. Allahu Akbar. So, we could go with all of you sisters, your excellence. Alhamdulillah. Regardless to your ethnicity, So I thank you and I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And let's give this house takbir for reception. I'm sorry. Let's give them takbir for receiving us. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I didn't scare people away, did I?
We wanted to thank you to come into our masjid, Islamic Center, inshallah, and this was awesome. Inshallah, we can bring you again to continue this one.
You owe me a visit in Miami, so you got to come down there and do the Jummah. And you tell I'm gonna bring him on charges too. Exactly. He did come down there, but he missed Jummah. Okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you. Ashkuruka. Jazakallah khairan kathir. Okay. So what time is it? I want to make sure I stopped on a good time.
9:25.
Okay, good.
It's a good time.
No, normally I speak to 11. And everybody's got guns and everything.
Okay, I can take the mic for you.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Very kind. This is one and this is the other. Allahu Akbar. Thank you. Thank you.